Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun Diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun Diary Politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun Diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come. Maiyegun la wa mo, la mo do 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 do. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun la wa mo, la mo do 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 do. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti de o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Thank you so much for joining me. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. Good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Godfatherism.
Thank you very much. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. And tell them that Maiyegun today. Tonight, it is going to be a lecture-like session. I am going to do my best, to make you, especially if you are watching me from Nigeria, I'm going to do my best to explain to you how this fraud that these criminals are perpetuating in Nigeria, specifically on your major export henna, crude oil. Some of you know all these things. It's all about, they just lose the money. You have no idea how all that activities actually affects you and contributed and still contributing to the widespread poverty that you have in Nigeria today. Yes, I'll do my best. Maybe I can get your good side tonight, the one that is going to go to bed, go to bed tonight, and possibly get you thinking, the part of you that I called your subconscious part, a place where truth needs to hit. How does this affect you? Even if your emotion is telling you something otherwise about Nigeria, Bokuwari's government just came out now that they want to give 150,000 naira to all of you undergraduates in Nigeria, even though you are at home right now, and they can't pay ASU. I will do my best in bringing you or connecting you with the doom that these people represent. You can share the broadcast now.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí fa ayé ìṣúra aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òwò ayé ìṣúra òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú ayé ìṣúra ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ṣúra kì ayé ìṣúra kì.
If you are a young person watching me from Nigeria, I might be able to help you understand what Nigeria indeed have in stock for you, courtesy of the rogues and criminals who are supposed to be part of those who are going to, where they are, part of those who are shaping your future. But that future is overrated when it comes to Nigeria and those in charge. They have done so much damages. We can stop them. We can redeem ourselves back. We can take back our dignity. We can break the chain of this slavery. Today's people who are walking about, the slaves of 21st century, they are not walking about in chains. They have been, socially constructed or socially programmed in a way the society wants you to be. You can break that chain. They will call you a rebel, but you will indeed be in charge of your own sanity. If not, does it even make any sense? People who said they can't pay NNPC, so they can't pay ASU rather. And Nigeria, the oil-producing country that is having population explosion with no plans for any of you. That same country is currently supervising the systemic stealing of your supposed most valuable assets, your crude oil. And all they do is to tell you about it, or they are trying their best to cut it short. I'll give you, figures. And I'm not going to talk to you as they will want to talk to you, using different economic jargons to confuse you. I am going to link all of this together, including linking your purse, your wallet, to this madness. Maybe then, just maybe, I may save one or two of you again tonight. I am not looking for mass saving tonight, but I would likely get you thinking. Nigeria Nigeria was producing 2 million barrels of crude oil pre-2015. Then it dropped straight to about 800,000 barrels. Nigeria, right, eventually made deals with the armed militant of Niger Delta, a deal that is economically ruinous, not just to Nigeria, but you see to the people of the area where they are extracting the oil in particular. So somehow, the production jumped to 1.2 million barrels a day. That is not the only thing that jumped. The price of that crude oil, right, also jumped from what it was back then. I think it was about $70 a barrel to over 100 barrels. So $100 a barrel. Now, if you multiply, now let's use today's figure. Today, the barrel of crude oil, there are different kinds of crude oil in the world, but the best of them is Brent crude, the one they found in Nigeria, the Niger Delta, and the southern part of Nigeria, where this is massively deposited. Brent crude is sold for about $93 as of today. So if we use that figure, that simply means that Nigeria is making $115 million every day. But that is based on their production. So that is $1.23 million barrels a day. Now, let's put that aside as well. We'll come back to that. In that same Nigeria, those who are stealing the crude oil from Nigeria, they are not using jerry cans. They are not using tanker. They are using, what do they call, crude vessels, massive crude oil vessels that has to have access to deep water, fully protected and safely loaded and safely departed from Nigeria every day. Different cargo comes in, load every day. Guess how much of crude oil they are stealing from Nigeria? In 2015, they said Nigeria was losing over 50,000 barrels a day. Guess how much Nigeria is losing today? 700,000 barrels a day. Now let's use the current oil price to know how, what is that in dollars first, then in naira. So then let's use average figure or average number without having to sound like above or two below. Let's say 500,000 barrels is being stolen a day. 500,000 barrels. In fact, I will use 400,000. If you are lifting 400,000 barrels every day from somewhere, that means you are at $93 a barrel. That means you have access to over $65 million every day. $65 million every day going into the hands of the unknown oil thieves, but known to the government of Nigeria. Wait for it too. Now, we can begin to convert them now, okay? Let's say Nigeria is not taking the whole, what do they call it? The whole $115 million from the 1.23 million barrels a day at $93 per barrel. Let's say Nigeria is taking royalty. And eventually Nigeria is taking, let's say, oh, no. That's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do first is, what is the 30 days worth of Nigeria oil? So all you have to do is $115 million times 10. That is going to be $1.15 billion times 3. That's going to be $3.45 billion. So that's the amount. So Nigeria is supposed to be earning $3.5 billion from what they are selling. Meanwhile, those who are stealing from Nigeria, let's do that as well. $65 million a day is what those who are stealing your oil is what they are taking. So $65 million a day times 10 days, that is $650 million. Abi? $650 million times 2. That should be $1.3 billion. Add $650 million to it again. That is $1.95 billion. But let's use an approximation now. Remember, I'm not using 700,000 barrels they are stealing. I am using 400,000 barrels here. Yeah? So, which means in my own calculation now, Nigeria is losing over $2 billion to oil thieves, even though Nigeria has the Navy. The Navy has all the equipment that you can talk of, including surveillance chopper. But yet, steady, comfortably, the oil thieves in Nigeria, they are taking $2 billion conveniently. This is rough estimate. Remember, if you have to use 700,000 barrels they are stealing, that means you'll be talking about somewhere around $3 billion, $3.5 billion going into the hands of individuals, foreign corporations, and many others who have interest in Nigeria. And at the same time, depleting the access of people, the access to good life of the people who are actually the owners of these resources. That is one. Your government is supervising that. You know, ask me, how did I know? Okay. How did stealing, 50,000 barrels every day of oil that were being stolen in Niger Delta then in 2015 increased to over 700,000? Is that not more than 800% loss? Or sorry, 800% increase in what you are losing to vandals. Vandals are not using jerry cans. Me and you no fit do, me and you, we no fit do stealing of crude oil. But all parties involved, government officials, security agents, every one of them involved is a racket. It all started from the top. The NNPC in charge of your Nigeria oil. Guess who is the Minister of Petroleum? Bokwari. Now imagine, for a second, you, a student watching me right now, you are currently at home. ASU is demanding for 1.2 trillion naira before they can open your schools. Okay? And Bokwari's government that made the deal with them, agreed to the deal with them, Bokwari's government said there is no way they are going to pay that ever. Now, ask me, if indeed your government is not a government, Bokwari's government is not a government of criminals, if you are losing $2 billion somewhere, right, what would you do? Would you ignore that, and go borrowing while the rest of your people go sorrowing? Like, we don't know who are those stealing the oil. Who are the people stealing the oil? Wait till they take, well, that is the oil. But your NNPC to supervising that, how much are they delivering? Imagine if Nigeria, let's now come back now again to, because $2 billion, $2 billion means ASU who have access to education generally would have access to at least 1.2 trillion naira, your naira. As bad as it is, it will have access to 1.2 trillion naira. Conveniently, you will be in school. There will be money for researches. There will be money for scholarship. There will be money for many things to help you grow to a responsible citizen that is not going to be a ass licker, a boot licker, a crumb chaser, crumb eater, an all-ricer, a Buhari idiot, a cyberbarian. Something that they will invest in conveniently and they won't have to borrow at all. Think about that. Now let's come back to what they said they are now pumping and selling. Nigeria know they pump any oil. Do you know that? Your government, you know that your government does not extract any of your oil. Do you know that? Okay, maybe you do or maybe you don't. I will remind you, okay? Nigeria, as oil producing country, does not extract its own oil. You know what they did? They sold licenses, many of them at giveaway prices, to cronies, party supporters, former military generals, their wives, their girlfriends, their sons, daughters everywhere, emir, pastor, all of them. That's how they sold, that's how they shared all the licenses. You know what then happened? Those who have those licenses, they now went all over the place looking for oil extracting companies. That's how you have Shell, Chevron, Total, everybody all over the place. Guess who gave them the licenses? Not government, but the friends of government, the owners of Nigeria. Therefore, whatever they say they are pumping, is exactly what you have to write down. You know your system is corrupt. Nigeria system is the most corrupt you can come across in the entire Africa. Okay, I don't want to say the word because America is more corrupt. I think Britain is probably in that bracket too. But out of Nigeria, I know that one better. So let's use Africa. So whatever the oil companies say they are pumping, is what your government NNPC agent will also record. And in between, you know what can happen, Abi? Now, from what they pump, because they are using their own machine, using their own everything to pump your oil, Abi. So they would then have to extract their own money from whatever a barrel of oil is sold. Now, after those companies remove their own, and how do they get their own money? They are also the ones helping your country to sell the crude oil. Since Nigerian government, then all your agents, past and present, it's all about rent taking. They don't care. Okay? Just take the crude oil, give us money. How much are you going to give us? So they are now doing the sharing formula, like they do 70%, 70-30, 60-40. So whatever Nigeria is getting from your crude oil, is called royalty. It's not the full money. Now let's go back to the figure again. Nigeria is producing your oil. The oil company said they are pumping all of the production from everywhere, 1.2 trillion, 2 million barrels a day. Okay. So if you put all of that together, you'll be looking at 36 million barrels or 37 million barrels in a month. So if you sell that, all of that for at $93 per barrel, you will get $115 million a day. And then you will get how much do you calculate earlier? See, maths is very difficult. I'm going to have to do it again with you, okay? So $115 million a day for 1.23 million barrels. So if you multiply that by 30, I think that should give us $3.5 billion plus or minus, okay? Now, that $3.5 billion, when the oil companies remove all their share, Nigeria will take whatever is given to them. Now, from whatever is given to your NNPC now opened another shop by the side called fuel subsidy. So what did they do? That is when you hear that Nigeria government shared 1.2 trillion this month. Now let's break that down too. From oil money now, okay? I'm not talking about other taxes yet. Now from oil money, from everything they got collected, right? Now they will say they are sharing 1.2 trillion. NNPC gave them 700 billion naira. Now, what does that tell you? It means whatever the oil companies gave to NNPC is $1 or $1.2 billion from $3-something billion that all your money sold was worth. Okay. Now, whatever happened to the rest of the money, no, they don't care. They don't want to tell you, and you probably will never know. Now, from other sources, they will now say they are sharing 1.2 trillion this month. From that 1.2 trillion, from them in Abuja, NNPC, ministry, parastatal, all of those things, I'm coming to those ones too. They will take 51%. They will now look at all your state. They will give them 29%. Then your local government area, they will give them 20%. But you see the 20% for local government, 29% also for the state, everything goes to the state. Your local government sees nothing. Your villages, your community road, your community hospital, community schools, and all those, they continue to suffer. That's how the money trickle down, Abi. Now, you see that office they open at the side, which your NNPC has now been using to defraud the entire country, denying you, young people, the opportunity to get real education, to get empowered enough that you could become responsible citizens that will eventually come back to make contribution of growth. Now, let's take a bit back again to the money being shared. They now created a loophole, a giant one, a black hole called fuel subsidy. How do you make fuel subsidy work? Since Nigeria sell their crude oil abroad, so they have something called exchanges too. Listen, from that crude oil, it is not just petrol that you see from it. That is where you have to see kerosene. That's from it you have to see diesel. That's where you have to see the petrol. That's where you have to see bitumen, the one they use for road construction, and so many other things which I don't probably know, right? But it is used for many things. But what Nigeria does is that the crude oil, they take everything out. Now they now give you back petrol. Guess those who now go and buy. Not that they will say we are keeping the rest of the stuff because you know what? You probably don't need them. We'll give you petrol. No. Nigeria would then have to buy back the petrol after giving them crude oil. So in those exchanges, they created the middlemen. They are known thieves called oil marketers. The oil marketers are like, the fuel station with the depot here and there. You want petrol, come and buy from me. But you have to buy from me because, Nigeria is an oil producing country, but it doesn't refine its own crude oil. It relies on the outsiders. So to save their embarrassment, right, they now said, in Nigeria, if you have to buy a liter of fuel, normal, you are supposed to pay over 500 naira for it per liter. Now, Nigeria is poor. They made you poor, right? In order to feel like we are helping you, how about we buy back the product from the crude oil we sheepishly gave out? So then, for you to be able to buy a liter of petrol for 180 naira, it will cost the government of your government, it will cost them about 320 naira. Now, normally, the subsidy in Nigeria before these rogues came in, the thieves back then, it seems like they were a little bit kind of moderate, even though artless still. Let me explain that. They said back then, Nigerians, they were using about 13 million liters of petrol every day. Makes sense, Abi? Okay. That means, normal, majority of those who are buying petrol, buying diesel, and all those, they don't buy them every day. Maybe every 2 days, maybe every week, except for those who are using them for commercial purposes. I know there are many generators here and there, but they said back then 13 million liters was enough. But that 13 million, for you to be able to buy the liter of fuel at 86 naira per liter, your government had to pay out over 200 billion naira to the marketers who are bringing the petrol to Nigeria. Because if they were allowed to sell at their own cost, you probably will be buying it for over 200 naira. Now, when APC, Egbekegbe, came in, they promised that fuel importation, they are going to end it by investing in refineries in Nigeria. That would have made a lot of sense, Abi. If you are spending over 400 billion naira importing fuel, that are being sold at high cost to the people who own the oil. How about you remove that 400 billion and spend it on your own refineries? Within a year, you are likely going to cut down importation by over 50%, if you are indeed honest. But you know they are not. When APC Egbekegbe came in, they brought in, the Minister of Petroleum is Bokwari himself. And when he came in, he made announcements and announced this crop of criminals as in charge of NNPC. I'm coming back to the price part. Let's go back to their names. As in charge of your NNPC. Today, okay? Now, they are, according to them, they are the leader, the GMD, Mele Kyari. The next is Umaru Ajia, which is in charge of finance and then accounts. Yusuf Usman is in charge of operation. They call him Chief Operating Officer. Farouk Garba Said is the Chief Operating Officer, Corporate Services. Now, Mustafa Yakubu is the Chief Operating Officer, Refining and Petrochemicals, even though Nigeria no longer refine anything anymore under this criminal. So remember, 13 million liters of petrol every day to 63 million liters today under these rogues. I'm coming. Adiza Kumasi is the corporate secretary, legal advisor to the NNPC. Omar Ibrahim is the group general manager, international energy relation. Kalamu Abdullahi is the GGM renewable energy. Ibrahim Brima is the GGM governance, risk and compliance. Bala Wunti is the GGM NAPIMS, whatever that means. Inuwa Waya is the MD NNPC shipping. Musa Lawan is MD pipelines and products marketing. Monsor Sambo is the MD Nigeria Petroleum Development Company. Lawal Sade is MD Duke Oil and NNPC Trading Company. Malami Shehu is MD Port Harcourt Refining Company, even though the Port Harcourt refineries are not doing jack shit, right? Now, Muhammad Abba is MD Wari Refinery and Petrochemical Company. Abdul Kadiri Hamed is MD Nigeria Gas Marketing Company. Now, Saliu Jamari is MD Nigeria Gas and Power Investment Company Limited. Muhammad Zango is the MD NNPC Medical Services. Now, Sarki Hawalu is the director, Department of Petroleum Resources. Now, these are the guys in charge of Nigeria petroleum industry appointed by Bokwari. Now, from 30 million liters every day, which makes sense. You don't buy fuel every day. But however, plus or minus, you can say, oh, let's say, for example, if they say in a week, Nigerians are using, let me put it this way, 90 million liters every week. And when they divide it, it's like sometimes in a day, they use 8 million. Sometimes it's 11 million. Sometimes it can be more. It can even be up to 15 million. But plus or minus, in a month, you can say it's 13 million. Now, when APC Egbekegbe came in, right? And somehow, by the way, now, somehow, that figure could make some sense because before APC Egbekegbe came in, 40% of Nigeria refineries were working at 40% capacity. Today, they are working at zero capacity. Zero. None of them is working anymore. But they now have overhead costs where they are paying hundreds of billions of naira every year to staffs of those refineries. Now, what they did is this on that subsidy. They said Nigerians now uses 63 million barrels every day, which means the filling stations in Nigeria, they go to depot, right, every day to carry the same amount of petrol that all of you consume every day. Even the man in charge of your custom is shocked. According to him, he had this to say. Just for a minute before we continue.
General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Colonel Hamid Ali, is questioning the figures put out by the NNPC Limited. He wonders why the NNPC allows 98 million liters of PMS to be lifted daily from the depots when it puts daily consumption of the product at 60 million liters. He stated this when he appeared before the House Committee on Finance for the hearing on the Medium-Term Expenditure Framework 2023 to 2025.
The issue is not the smuggling of petroleum. I have always argued this with NNPC. If we are consuming 60 million liters per day by their own computation, why in the world will you allow a liftment of petroleum product of 98 million million liters per day? That computation to me is not even anything to believe, because scientifically you cannot tell me that if I fill my tank today, tomorrow I'll fill the same tank with the same quantity of fuel. And if I'm running a petrol station today, if I go to Mina Depot and lift petrol, and I'm taking it to Kaduna, I may reach Kaduna in the evening, offload that petrol in that evening. There's no way I could have sold that petrol for you to account that that has been expended. So how do we get to 60 million every day? If you say this petrol is smuggled, if you release 98 million liters, and then in actual you have released 98 million liters, and then we use 60 million liters, the balance will be 38 million liters. How many trucks will carry 38 million liters every day? That's almost 500. Which road are they following? Where are they carrying this thing to?
There's no point asking. I'll tell you. One of the things that was discovered in the subsidy scam in 2010, 2011, and then 2012 protests that happened was that typical Nigerians need fuel to run the economy, to run your everyday, run your factories. You need fuel, you need diesel, you need AGO, popularly called AGO. You need petrol. Now, since Nigeria is not refining or producing any of them, what's going to happen? They have to rely on people who can supply them. They are not looking for solution to make sure that Nigeria is able to produce what they at least uses themselves, even if they cannot produce enough to sell. The one they need to use, how many barrels do we need in a day? 20 million or 30 million. Okay, let us invest in refineries that can give that to us every day so that we can cut cost on that and invest the money we are paying these importers. Because you know the importers too, they are businessmen, Abi, created by the system themselves. Listen to this, they created them. Okay, they created the business and they created those who are milking it. So what then happened is this: the marketers will now go abroad. In NNPC will be like, how much, you know, everything are fraud though. How much a liter of fuel do we need in a day so that we can budget for how much we are going to pay as subsidy? They say, okay, we need, somebody will just sit down and say, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, this, I mean, I can tell you, we have more than 100 million cars in Nigeria. If we put my plus or minus, I think we need about 60 million liters a day. Oh, okay. No, sorry. I think we need about 30 million liters a day to run Nigeria. Oh, okay. Very smart. Very, very smart. How do we get 30 million liters? They say we need to get marketers like they do in Nigeria government to suppliers. So we now say, Akibu, Umoru, Oh, yeah, come NNPC, come NNPC. Take this form, sign here, sign here. You are now a marketer, okay? Now, what will happen is this. We are going to give you slots. You are going to bring 5 million liters of petrol, 2 million liters of diesel. The guy no get money. They will make arrangement for him. They will even give him contact where he's going to go to abroad to get the fuel, the people in government, because they are the one that will clear you anyway. So in the process, somebody who is going to now issue the money will now say, all of you don't make your cut, Abi. How much did you say we need? 30 million, sir, 30 million. I know we don't need 30 million. Anyway, what happened is that we just have to pay. Because if we don't pay, this country is going to stop working. We need petrol. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, we need petrol. Anyway, you, secretary, oh yeah, type it there. 35 million liters needed in Nigeria every day. You see, what they do with 30 million or what they do with 20 million, it is not their business. It is how much they pay as subsidy per liter that they are actually banking on. So they will say now GM get 2 million liters subsidy. Now the secretary gets 1 million liter. Now the governor of central bank gets, that's how they share it anyway. Now what does that mean? That simply means that the marketers, the importers, they have now been given open check. Do you get that now? Open check. So what many of them now does is that they now bring the fuel. Since government is ready to pay on it, Abi, they say, how much did you bring your own liter per liter? That one will come and say, our company is coming from Sweden. We are bringing the fuel from Sweden. And because of that, it's going to cost 500 naira per liter. It's all right. We are not going to pay 500. Okay. We know that the whole thing, pass 300 naira per liter. We'll give you 50 naira on each one. How many liter do you have? I have about 12 million. Okay, you have 12 million liter. We'll pay you 50 naira extra. So that is instead of 350 naira per liter, we'll budget 500 naira per liter. Now, this is business. The marketer has oil that is brought to Nigeria, and is not going to discharge the oil except he is paid. The government agent in NNPC who orchestrated the business, they are there to make their own deal. Now, how do they do it? The marketer will make maybe 15 naira after, but the government is going to pay about 400 naira extra subsidy. Now, that 400 naira per liter, they don't really have to come and take it from you. Remember, you are selling crude oil. That some of you don't even know how much, Abi. They will tell you they are using the money to pay the marketer. Now, the marketer is smart one, knows that Nigeria doesn't need 60 million liters. Okay? Nigeria is not using 60 million liters per day. Okay? The government has paid them about, paid their own share. The businessmen in government have taken their own share. The oil is there. They just turn the ship. To where? To Ghana, to Togo, to Benin Republic, to everywhere they are selling crude oil. And their own government is not paying subsidy on crude oil to anybody. They are there. They are selling crude oil. I mean, they are selling a petrol at 450 naira, 500 naira per liter, 380 naira per liter. Who is the Mugu? Nigeria that paid. And you, what do you pay? You pay with your own good health care, good education for your children. I mean, money to fund your own, your own industries, businesses to have access to cheap loans that will eventually build their industries, businesses that will also create jobs. Do you see how they created that? Now, in your budget in this 2022 alone, guess how much they want to pay to oil marketers as subsidy in 2022 alone? Guess how much? You don't know. 4.5 trillion naira. You know why? Because, number one, they have borrowed money against your naira so bad that your naira has crashed beyond any recovery, right? Now, the marketers can then blame the cost of bringing fuel to Nigeria. They can now blame it on dollars. Are you following me? So which means as your dollar, as your naira continue to crash, so would the subsidy payment increase. Now, let us now break it down again a little bit, talking about how they are bleeding you. And when I say bleeding you, that is what has caused all the marginalization you are seeing, the poverty you are seeing, the joblessness you are seeing today, and the increase in crime that you are seeing today. And it's going to get worse as well. You know why? Because so much money is now in the hands of unknown people whose intention, me can tell you free of charge, is nothing good towards you, and your government is in bed with them. Now let's go back again. Let's break it down again. Government officials, right, who deliberately created the loopholes where they can call the drain pipe, where your money, your everything that could go into funding electricity. In fact, I'm coming to that as well. They created the loopholes. They inflated the figures. And in all of this, even when Nigeria is cash crunched, okay? Yes. So let's say the 700,000 barrels of crude oil they are losing every day is not lost, okay? And Nigeria is currently earning comfortably every month for $4 billion from that lost crude oil. Do you think you will be at home right now as a student, as a young person right now? Do you think you will be? Do you think you as a lecturer, as a teacher, do you think Canada will be attractive to you right now if education in Nigeria as it is receive adequate funding of $4 billion? I mean, in South Africa, do you know how much is their education budget? South Africa population is probably less than 70 million people. Their budget for education is over $40 billion. They are not spending dollars, so they are spending rand. Education alone. You know why? If you want a real country, developed country, if you want that in your lifetime, leadership in that country will invest more in education. But in Nigeria, they turned Nigeria to a beggarly country, whereby, look at the lives of many of you. They have jeopardized, not even jeopardizing. $4 billion. $4 billion will create a nest of over 2 trillion naira of your money to support education, pay your lecturers at least something reasonable, enough that they will at least love their job and stay back. When education is destroyed, it is not limited to Hausa, Fulani, Igbo. It is what? It is for everyone's child. If you have a child, if you are a child, you may not know that damage is to you. Did you hear what I said about all the loopholes they created? Nigeria will spend 4 trillion naira paying oil marketers that are selling the same crude oil, the same oil in different markets in Africa. It is double for them, and they know themselves. In return, these oil thieves would then have to give money handsomely to the political party that makes them rich. Before now, the billionaires were the PDP thieves. Most of them your uncles, your tribesmen, tribeswomen, Abi, your churchmen, your mosque women, PDP. Now today, the beneficiaries are what? Are who? The APC. But the losers are who? You, who probably don't have an idea what these damages actually mean. Nigeria debt is over $100 billion. And every resources in Nigeria is being looted conveniently with the supervision of the same people promising you and your children a better future with nothing to back it. Nothing. APC, Egbekegbe, said they want to give you 150,000 naira as a student. Guess what? The uneducated, miseducated, and poorly educated Nigerian youth, they are already fighting themselves. This school received what I want to believe a memo from Bokwari's government that now, since they passed the law that said they should be paying you bursary, every federal government student in Nigeria should be collecting bursary. I think they were supposed to be paying you 50,000. Some people have collected this money before. But the same APC, Egbekegbe, that is unable to pay your teachers, want to start giving you undergraduates 150,000 naira every month. In Yoruba, there's something they will say, ni mo ba takoto lorin aro, orin ba so si mi lenu, orin wo lo so si, that is, immediately that news, immediately I read that news, a song that came to my mouth, orin to lorin akoto ba lorin aro ba so si mi lenu, lo di pe twinkle twinkle little star, lori ro.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope. We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Lori ro. The students have been at home now for over 6 months. But sadly, very, very sadly, many of them have taken position to defend the same APC. Egbekegbe. 6 months. Some of them don't even probably remember their own student number or matriculation number. I'll be waiting to call her now anymore. Unfortunately, 150,000 naira your lecturers are demanding for 1.2 trillion naira to run the universities. But Nigeria is broke. If I have to take a look at the population of you student undergraduates, I mean, if we want to just kind of be generous somehow, I feel talk say you feel reach 2 million. Like me, I know try to exaggerate. I don't underrate. I kind of like playing with figures, realistic figures anyway, so that my message can mean something to you. Let's say all of you be 1 million. 1 million. If you give 1 million people 150,000 naira, okay, 1 million is 0 mefa, 6 zeros, okay, 6. So if you now add 150,000, all you have to do is to add, and 150,000 is how many zeros? 4 zeros. So if you put the 15 in front and you add 4 zeros to 6 zeros, that means 10 zeros, Abi. 10 zeros, 10 zeros. So 1, 5, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 150 million, 1, 2, 3, 150 billion, and 1, 0, 1.5 trillion, Okay, I think I'm close. 1.5 trillion. If they pay 1 million of you, 150,000 naira. That is 1.5. That is more than what your lecturers are asking for every year. Okay. But let's say that is too small. In all honesty, maybe you are more than 1 million. Let's say 2 million. That will mean Bokwari's government that cannot pay 1.2 trillion to your teachers who locked your schools. They are now ready to pay you, the students, about 3 trillion naira annually. Hey! Do you think no be craze be that? Or do you have any other definition for scam? Help me, help me, oh, help me, oh, help me. Nigeria is carrying me to where I don't know with that woman. Help me, help me, help me.
Huh. I will not allow you to. Hey, help me, 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 help me. If they carry me, they go where I don't know. Help me, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me.
Help me, oh, help me, oh, help me, oh. If they carry me, they go where I don't know. You see, I know say I am a very terrible person when it comes to addition and subtraction, but when it comes to money, admission, subtraction, multiplication, Baba, na common sense, so you don't need too much grammar. Oh. Just common sense. If you have nothing to say back to me, that's when you will say you are just enemy of progress. Let us be grateful to grateful, you know, Sha. She grateful. I won't ask God that make grateful just help me kill you, dear. I'm just asking. No, I'm not saying grateful should kill you, dear, or maybe grateful should even kill you, dear. You should be grateful to scammers, liars, people who shared over 500 billion naira, to 11 million households, and they have no receipts. And you say you should be grateful and should be grateful. They are destroying what could probably be your only chance, to leave a legacy. If you have children, or if you plan to have children, or if you are a child yourself, and you probably want something that your parents will say, I am glad I sent him to school. Do you see how they loot you? Do you see how they do it? It's so easy to know. There's no need for grammar. It don't make any sense, does it? It doesn't make any sense. This one will be say, you're enemy of progress. Which progress, Baba? Which kind of 419 progress be this? They had a meeting with ASU in 2019. They agreed on a deal. They said, we are going to pay you instrumentally 1.2 trillion. They don't pay money. Now they are promising you where they have abandoned at home. Now you are now becoming economical. You are becoming philosophical. Because you won't chop agbado to the long. The agbado that you won't even see agbado shop when they recruit you into the army. Because they know Armageddon 2023 is what Nigeria is going to be. Armageddon. Poverty will hit everybody so deep. Human fleshy, human meaty will begin to sound like a different delicacy to some of you. I don't pray that you begin to eat your own children. Oh. It has happened before. Hunger. History is repeating itself. The people in charge of that, you are defending them. You have no idea. No, you don't. You have no idea. It's a scam. They said they were going to give 3 million jobs every year. Do you remember? These people. They said they were going to pay you student allowance. Now the 7th year be this so. In your own mind, you are now saying, but they are giving poor people 5,000 naira. Ta ló ṣépè fún yín torí Ọlọ́run. Ta ló ṣépè fún yín. Pastor Adeboye, help me. Like that woman, make her call Pastor Adeboye. Help me, oh. Help me, sir. A quick one.
oṣó ni, àjẹ́ ni, ẹlẹ́bọlóògùn ni, amániṣẹ́ni ni, afàìmọ́niṣẹ́ni ni, wọ́n á fi yín sílẹ̀.
Àmín, àmín ní orúkọ Jésù. Thank you, Baba. Pastor. They are looting you blind. And this is why there is no money to run a country that is struggling underwater. And they get energy to fight. Alaye, you get energy. Okay, let's go on. Let's go on. You know they won't give you. They said they will be paying you unemployment allowance. I remember, if you don't remember. And that unemployment allowance is going to be the value of the job you should be doing if you have work, while the government is doing everything to make sure that they found you a job. So make sure that when you go to school, you have a better course to study. Something that when government say, you don't get work, Kike. For example, let's say you are supposed to be a medical doctor, and your contemporaries all over the world are earning, for example, let's say they are earning 2 million naira. And here you are. You have done your house residency. You are ready to get a job. And somehow, there is no job. Although it is real not to have a job as a doctor, okay? You can go to private practice in any way. But I'm just saying, let's say you don't have a job. That's so sad. How could it? We need to find you a job quickly. But before we find you a job, as a doctor, they collect this, they manage this 2 million naira. They take a whole body. Engineer, you graduated from Lautech. Electi. Nigeria no get electricity. Because we will create job for you in electricity. You will be generating electricity and distributing electricity. And in fact, helping us to generate electricity in Nigeria. Because you do electric. But before that, as an electric, as an engineer, normal, you're supposed to earn like 700,000, 800,000 naira. But before you get that job, we still no say job no day. They take this 800,000 at the whole body. That was what APC promised you. That was what many of you believed would happen 8 years ago. Remember? But today, Engineer Kunle is now Okada rider. In fact, he's the chairman of Isalelco Okada Rider Association. You know why? Because Engineer Kunle is a graduate. But because Nigeria happened to him, at least he needs to survive. He's got a family now. He's got children that is paying their school fees. There's no job anywhere, and he's not going to take any job that is not going to feed his family. He's now the chairman of Okada Rider Association, Isalelco branch, Shagamu. Or Engineer Kunle, supposed engineer, or accountant BC, my dear sister BC that graduated as a second-class upper, supposed to be working with Deloitte and the brothers. I'll be waiting to call them. This one and this one to be doing auditing for big companies, earning good money, good pay. Auntie is now selling wig on Instagram and sometimes doing hookup as a side hustle. They say, listen, I'm a graduate. Listen, don't talk to me like that. Don't think because I'm doing this hookup in Nigeria. I'm a graduate. If Nigeria was working very well, I will never be doing auntie. It's Nigeria. They told you that before you even get any job, you wouldn't have to do, well, you could do said business is good though. Business is good though. But when you now see Auntie BC doing reception, they say, where does BC work right now? BC is now working at the Jaye Simi Hotel. What is she doing there? She is the supervisor. Oh, she's the receptionist. Tori Olong. The same BC that they suffer, struggled, paid. ASU strike, NASU strike, NASU strike, all this one and all that. Court is to a year versus AK fight, only for BC to end up as a receptionist at one hotel. Not because it's not good. There's dignity in labor. I am just saying APC said you are never going to live like that. That's what they promised you. You remember? And rather than for you to be living like that, you will be collecting money that accountants should be collecting, or accountants are collecting. That's what they promised you. Because how dare Nigeria government to make you live like slave. You needed change. But you know what they now gave you, sadly? The BC that doesn't want to be, or hang on. Let's just remember Caroline, Nurse Caro, as was told that, do you know how much your mates, how much they are earning in London? Do you know how much your mates are earning in Canada? Do you know how much your mates in Nigeria? You are there struggling. They won't even pay you. Now, in all those stuff. Caro decided to accept change. Instead of Caro to be living better life in Nigeria now, Caro is now loving Nigeria from Canada because Canada can now pay better for nurses. UK can now harvest all of the best hands that could give you health care if to say your system, APC, Egbekegbe, that promised you, fulfill half of those promises. I am not trying to be, well, in fact, what is wrong? I am a revisionist. Sometimes we need to revisit all those things because of those who have chosen to live in denial. Today, those who promised you jobs and those who don't want to stay back and ride Okada, those who don't want to become downfall drivers or this or that, those who don't want to become supervisors at different factories, slaving around, those who didn't want to die in what Nigeria is throwing at them because they couldn't fend them off, they are now loving Nigeria from abroad. No thanks to APC, Egbekegbe. No thanks to them. So, Oshoni, Ajeni, that is making you think Nigeria somehow means well for you. Ọlọ́run á bá mi bá wọn wí, àbí kí la fẹ́ sọ? You are at home today. Your parents were at home. Ask them. The criminals who promises things and have no plan of fulfilling them, they are back at it. And where do you think that is taking us? Where? Of course you know. It is taking us to the perdition, or taking us to a total destruction that are already happening today. So, there is also a part, apart from the fact that we know there is a global crisis, okay? Let me tell you something. All over the world right now, it would have been an opportunity for Nigeria if the criminals in Nigeria ever wanted anything good for Nigeria. I'll tell you that. All over the world now, in the UK, for example, we are facing one of the worst, let me put it this way, economic crisis that is about, what they will say, shit is about to eat the fan. Now, when you now look at the people who are going to be, the bracket of people that this is going to affect in the UK, what do I mean? By the way, let's explain what I mean by that. In the UK right now, energy bill where we have to pay for electricity, like this one now. I am running a bill that is likely going to run me back to Ijebu if I don't get help. Like I have a system that is going to help me, Whatever is coming to hit me in the UK, by the way, there is already a system that is going to help me, help my family enough to weather the storm.
How do I know? Because those are the things that are now top priority conversation in the entire UK. It is not about how politicians are going to now possibly come and start giving us money, giving us food. I mean, like they are doing to you in Nigeria. What do I mean? In the UK, because of Russia-Ukraine war, Russia announced that they have shut down the what's it called? Nord Stream. They call that thing. And that is the pipeline that is supplying over 40% of the energy needed by the countries in Europe. You know the story of the sanctions against Russia and all those things from the beginning of this year, Abby? Now you see everything going on there. Now they pay the price. You are paying part of the price in Nigeria because in your own case, rather than have a safety net in any kind, now bottomless pit your politicians have created for you. I'll come back to that. All of us in the UK right now, I'll use UK because I live here and I can give you facts from fiction. That has now spoiled the energy providers in the UK. When I say energy, when we need to power our homes, all the power stations in the UK, more than half of them, they need that same, petrol, same diesel or gas supply to be powered and generate electricity that we need to power our homes. And you know that UK is cold. 7 months of the year, mostly cold. Yeah. Therefore, many people will die if they cannot pay for this electricity. There will always be electricity available, but to buy it, to pay for it, is what we now have to deal with. So, I don't know in actual figure how much of Russia oil we are also taking in the UK, but somehow, in the last 10 months, we have witnessed the jump in price of what we pay for everything, starting with this energy. Now, when we say energy, now when you need power to power your home, you also need gas to warm your homes during winter, mostly cold nights, right? Every home in the UK has heating device. Heating meaning as you turn on your light, or let's say back in Nigeria, as you turn on your air conditioner or air conditioning system, right? And it gets its power supply from power, energy like that. We also need gas to power our homes to keep us warm. Now, as the wahala in Russia escalated, the energy providers in the UK, okay, like in Nigeria, in the UK government, they are not in charge of provision for this whole electricity, energy, and the rest of them. I'm not saying that, let's put it this way, more than 70% of the energy, if not more than 80, right, of the electricity we need, the gas we need to power our homes, right, comes from those private companies who sell them to us. Which means the government of the UK can only subsidize poor households that cannot afford to pay for their electricity and gas. So we then come on, we are now at the liberty of those providers, except the government in the UK do something to subsidize the cost. That means help us pay for those things that are now the increase. Now, that shouldn't confuse you if you are living in this UK, but because I'm addressing most people in that Nigeria who are dealing with subsidy too, yeah? And there's nothing to help you. between February 2022 to now, September 2022, I have seen increase. I have seen more than 50% increase in what I pay to power my homes. I mean, to power my home or my house, my rooms, my everything. And I'll give you the figure. The early this year, I used to pay about 85 pounds for electricity in a month, 30 days. I used to pay about 90 pounds for my gas for warming my house. Guess how much I'm paying right now? 8 months or 10 months after, into 2022, right? I am now paying for electricity alone. I am paying about 148 pounds. Let's say 150 pounds a month. I am now paying the same amount for my gas, 150 pounds. Sometimes it can be around 52, around 53, but let's use the round figure. You see that increase? Yeah? Okay. Now, because of this wahala, I have been sent a letter or letters to let me know that from the end of August to the end of September, that is also going to increase from 150 pounds for electricity to over 180 pounds for electricity alone. What does that tell you? It means my bill has increased by over 100% within just 1 year because of the global crisis, economic crisis. Yeah? My gas has increased as well by over 100%. Now, by January 2023, my electricity bill is expected to go over 380 pounds a month. Do you know what that means? It means because of the global crisis, so my electricity, to put on electricity in my house, I am likely going to be paying about 400 pounds a month. That is how many percentage? That is over 300 to 400% increase in what I'll pay for electricity, because America, NATO, UK, and the rest of them are fighting Russia. Now, I'm paying for that. My gas is expected to go over 500 pounds a month. You see, all of us are going poor, Abi. Wait for it. Now, that means I am likely going to be paying about 1,000 pounds just to put on electricity and gas in my home by January. That is about to cause wahala in the UK already. Okay? It's about to cause serious wahala. But apart from that, in this UK, I know that my income, the government has increased, they have increased the minimum wage as well. It is horrible. It doesn't really pay much, okay? But somehow, there are same politicians in the UK, they are now offering homes, because in some homes, their own monthly bill for electricity and gas will probably go more than 1,500, 2,000. People are showing ridiculous charges that their own energy companies are sending to them per month. Some places, they will be charged over 56,000 pounds for energy bills in a year for people who are earning $22,000. 22,000 pounds a year. Imagine you earning 25,000 pounds a year. But for your electricity and gas, you are going to be paying over 56,000, 60,000 pounds. Of course, there will be wahala. Now, politicians are now offering us in the UK. We'll give you, if you have these 2 children, if you have this 1 child, if you are living alone, if they are making different proposals to say, we'll give you 400 pounds. We'll give you 300 pounds towards your energy bill. We'll give you this. We'll pay this money to the, some level of succor. Now, in the UK, as the economic crisis is biting, you have access, you know that you are not going to pay for your children's education. You are not going to pay school fees. You are not going to pay hospital bills. If you fall sick, maybe hypertension can't catch you, say, hey, where I go take see money again? Oh my God, I'm going to become poor. I have to choose between food and electricity. You know that even if you get hypertension, if you get a stroke or anything won't attack you, you know they will still take you to NHS where you have access and you will not have to sell anything. You will not have to run into debt to pay for your medical and the rest of the Abby. So somehow, you have energy to say, no, we don't want this. In Nigeria, you don't have that energy. You don't have any of those supports. People are struggling to pay for their own house rents. In the UK, apart from the government offering you this and that, there are so many other bodies who are also in different communities providing support for for families that are going to be affected by waiting they come over UK now. Don't worry, you may see us protesting everywhere in the UK in the next few days, next few weeks. Now, because many people who never thought they will have to struggle to feed in the UK, including your brothers and sisters, who are also possibly supporting Kolu, promoting Obi, or promoting this or that. All of us will go feel this, But the difference between us and you is that we can see, we can blame the politicians in the UK that they are collaborating with the energy companies, and we can hold them responsible. We can make our own elections in the UK about living wage, about families suffering or struggling, about this whole thing. And we can even punish our own politicians here for all of these things by those affected. But in Nigeria, instead of you to have an opportunity of punishing them, you are going to be queuing, waiting for, after they have battered you, you are going to be queuing, waiting for the peanuts they are going to give to you. In the UK, when families are struggling, when everybody is struggling to get by now, the energy companies in the UK, they are smiling to the bank. They are declaring profit here and there, left, right, and center. So the difference between us and Nigeria is that we even know those, the owners of all those companies who are benefiting from the skyrocketed energy bills in the UK, the economic crisis. In the UK, that is our own definition of economic crisis. So if you can no longer feed your children, if you are now worried that you can no longer pay your bills, if you're now worried that your income can no longer cover your expenditures, that is crisis. In Nigeria, what do you call it in Nigeria? Amuwa Olong. Let us pray for God's time. God, Nigeria, even if Nigeria is worse than this, God will never make me and my family suffer. Don't be so you tell yourselves. Because according to you, you don't even know those who are making you suffer. You don't know that the devil is not a spirit. The devil. They say, now devil cause now the work of devil, devil is not spirit. Devil is the next person that you see next to you, who is speaking the same language like you as well. It's not your brother. It's not your sister. It's just a waiting devourer, just like you. Do you get that? In the UK, we know those where the money is going. Now, me that I'm paying almost double of what I used to pay. I know where the money is going. British Gas, they declare profit. 6.8 billion pounds sterling profit. Hello. They said because Russia is going to increase the price of fuel. Because Russia is going to shut down their this and that. That is why we have to pay more. Okay, we can't pay more. The money no go Russia hand, the money go the hand of the people we know in the UK. In Nigeria, they told you, we have to pay more. You have to pay more for fuel per liter. And in order to save you from paying more, we need to pay subsidy to some people. You don't know them. I don't know them. But they are collecting the money steady. In Nigeria, 4 trillion naira a year. Baba, you know if you build school like that. Same way, some of us in the UK know that we no go fit pay for our mortgages. So with this energy bill, We don't go fit pay for our car loan, no. We did say that GB low for those who get them. Me, I don't get mortgage and I don't get car loan. Now cash I pay for my car. But guess what? The whole thing trickled down to food as well. The food we used to buy for £1, they don't sell them for £1.40. Some things we used to buy for £2, they don't sell them for £2.50. Yes, we dey feel am. But somehow, there are other cushion things that they give us. Me, I live in the UK, you know, right? I have been living in the UK now for 10 years. 10 years. If you are from Nigeria, you will know what I'm talking about, okay? Even though some of you will think, well, you see, Shebi now you talk about Maiyegun, they always give support to you. Even if everything is tough in the UK, the government is always giving support. Baba no be so. Me, I know they get support from UK government too. The kind residency they gave to me, my residence card, they wrote it there boldly. I don't know where I put it. I'll look for it. I'll show you. Or I don't actually have to, but for those of you who have the residence cards of UK, I'm not talking of you, those of you who don't get indefinite, and those of you who are British already. People like us, who have no ambition or dream of being British. We just want to be residents in a safe place where we can access opportunities just like everyone else in order to better our lives. The one denied us by Nigeria. The one denied you as well. Are you with me? I've been living in the UK for 10 years. And they wrote it there. I no get right to collect shishi. Whether I have a job or I don't have a job. Whether I have a family to feed or I don't. I must not collect shishi from their system. If I collect any shishi, thing that they call the support, that welfare that they give people money. If you collect shishi, I have committed a crime if I collect shishi. So which means me, Maiyegun, for me to lead a normal life, take care of my family, and make them look presentable to anyone, my family in the UK, my family in Nigeria, that means I have to work for every penny I make or every penny I spend. Do you understand that? If you are in Nigeria, you may not understand this, but I will help you. I am not allowed to collect any penny. I'm just allowed to live here, work hard, pay tax. Do you know something? To use the medical system that I've been telling you about is so good. I don't have to pay a dime. I actually paid. Me. And people like me paid. And every time I have to renew that my residency, despite the fact that I work, I work 4 days a week, right? 16 days a month times 12, 16 times 12. Anyway, don't worry. And I pay taxes that is above £400 on a steady into that same system in this UK. For me to use NHS as a residence, I have to pay £1,500 every 2.5 years. I have to pay it to the system before I can go and collect paracetamol from NHS. Do you know that? I'm happy to pay. Your government is taxing you in Nigeria. I don't know if other people also pay for NHS in Nigeria and all that, but they know they don't have it, Abi. I'm happy to pay, which means me living in the UK, I thank God for everything, and I thank, the opportunity I have. I'm going to always be grateful for that, by the way, right? It cost me every sweat of mine. None of them is free. Let me tell you the new thing, right? Agbeke is British. Akinola, my son, is British. Yewande, my daughter, she is British. Right? Fine. They are allowed to take the benefit, the system. But do you know something? I am also a problem to them. Instead of me to be, even though they cannot be monetary gift for me or to me, I am also a problem to them. Ask me how. I'll tell you, the harder I work, the more money I make, the less money they give to them. To the point that even though I kind of make average money, like people like myself in the UK, I make quite an average money, which then made whatever they have to give to them as support, not different from what they call Bambi ala peanut. You know why? Your partner is earning more money. We cannot give you more money. Even if you have 10 children, no. I'm telling you this just to let you know that there is opportunity, that once you use it, you probably don't need to rely on the system. Even when the whole thing is somehow kind of about to work against you in a way, there is also provisions that will make enough support for you that you don't have to be suicidal. You don't have to become criminal. You don't have to become a thief. You don't have to become fraudulent, and you don't have to support one, because you will know it is so wrong. Do you get my message? I pay for everything that you see on me, everything you see on my family, everything there, we earn everything. If I stop working tomorrow, make I no lie you, you go see me, you go probably feel like, wetin happen to Maiyegun? And the more I work, the more money I make, the more I am completely alienated from the system. But look at you. Look at you. You are in Nigeria. The criminals are stealing from the system, giving it to a selected number of people you don't know. Or in other hands, the system also created a loophole where criminals are conveniently coming into the land. Now, let me tell you something though. Do you know that gold is more expensive than crude oil? Your crude oil in Nigeria. Do you know that gold is more expensive? Gold is more expensive. But many of you don't even have a clue. Who are those extracting your gold? How much of the gold are they extracting every day? Where is the money going to? You have no idea. Now, what does that mean? All this money, if you look around, they are not using all this money or investing them in Nigeria. If they are investing them in Nigeria, creating other businesses, you can call it money laundering, but somehow, it is in your own interest. They will create jobs. They will open schools. They will invest in researches. You will get better education. You'll be more useful to yourselves. You'll be more useful to the society. You will pay taxes. Your government will see more money. Now, they will not have to go borrowing the way they are going. They will have enough to invest in infrastructure, including electricity. That's how society works. There is inflation in the UK. There is corruption in the UK. But when you want to pinpoint, or you are looking for scapegoat of any corrupt activity, there will always be those to present to you. And there will always be facts to back them up. In Nigeria, they just manufacture figures. Royal fathers across Europe, across Nigeria, they are watching Chinese and China citizens, Asians, Indians, extracting your mineral resources that nobody is accounting for. Now, what that means is that in order to maintain those stealing, what do you think happened with the money they get from those? They invest them back into buying weapons, sophisticated weapons, investing more in sabotaging your security architecture. The people that are supposed to gather information, helpful information that should curb all those hemorrhaging. They invest the money to buy better weapons for criminals who have better weapons than your military. They have the better equipment than your police. They have the better, vessels than your navy, because everything is compromised for them. And then you are left in abject poverty and want. They make promises they can't keep, and you help them spread those lies. You're doing yourselves, Abby. That's what I think. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to wish you the best when they start paying you the 150,000 naira. Even though you probably don't, they have no money. They are not going to pay that. But election is coming. You probably are going to buy into it, or you already bought it already. Some of you were fighting. There are many ways they are looting you. I just decided to show you this one. Whatever you want to make of that information and how much it affects you or what you do with it as well, is completely yours. I've done my part. You can like this broadcast. You can share it. You can subscribe on MaiyegunsDiary Politico. Whatever you do is voluntary. I have on MaiyegunsDiary Politico over 300 of my loyal, lovely, amazing supporters. These people pay to watch Maiyegun, and I hold you this, and every one of you, by the way, I hold you these presentations every now and then. This education, this enlightenment, what you make of everything I share with you is completely up to you. I'm grateful to all of you who have subscribed, the members of MaiyegunsDiary Politico on YouTube. I want to say thank you to many of you who actually take out your time on Facebook, and you are using that Facebook superstar or something they call it, stars, Facebook star. Seriously, you are amazing, and I want to say thank you to you. There are many of you on YouTube, almost 400 of you on YouTube who are subscribers, and they are also premium members, of MaiyegunsDiary Politico, paying to watch Maiyegun, to listen to Maiyegun. Like, seriously, I want to say thank you, okay, to you. I owe you this, and I've done my bits now. I'm going to take a break. When I get back, I'll take calls, okay? And you can add what you think you want to add, or object anything you think somehow exaggerated, or help me add what you think I have missed. I will be back, and then we will do that. So share it if you haven't. Don't go anywhere.
What is the
sorry. I kind of always run late when I go make my, because I'm just going to like put the kettle on and then wait for it to boil and make my tea. Anyway, I have somebody on the line to start with. So thank you very much for hello there.
Hello, about me to sure.
Oh, got you. How are you, sir?
We thank God.
It's good to hear from you anyway. So yeah, you are now live. Everybody can hear you.
How my sister and the kids? How is everyone?
We thank God. We are here. We'll be grateful always. Thank you.
Glory be to God. Thank God. But first, I will always appreciate you.
Thank you
for all your good job.
Thanks a lot.
That you've been doing. And I always do you sometimes when I'm there for work on Facebook. Like that, the way they give my boy that customer. I do that customer. I just use my AirPod. I know they say I just put my phone in pocket because of my supervisor.
I love cooking. Say you get. Most of the time when I cook like that, I always listen to music, and sometimes I just feel like, fuck it. I just turn my camera on, Jerry.
I just pick your boy, little boy down. They play my customer, they play my Rafi. They listen to that. So now they listen to that.
That's kind.
So I really appreciate you. I go appreciate all the people in the house too. From Princess, my very good sister. Bolu, everyone. Even if I don't mention them, but all of us for the good house, we know our friends. You see, I'm not going to take much time this time.
Sure, Baba.
You see, when you did talk, the one who really touched me most, now that one of the life we are living in the UK.
Oh.
But some people will not understand. Me and you, we are in the same category.
Let me tell them all. They say, look at that. They don't understand that we are paying for everything. In fact, the year we are living in the UK, as a Nigerian, you are paying for it.
See, for people we know go understand, make I speak broken.
Please, let me add more.
For you to be in the UK, have a resident permit. Once you marry to a British citizen, I'm not talking about marry EU citizen before the Brexit. You pay through your nose. But my first application, they asked me to go back from Sweden to Nigeria because I didn't have residence in Sweden.
Right.
I did go to Sweden with business visa, which I can stay like 8 months, 9 months sometimes. Do my spare part truck business, come back again to Nigeria. I was asked to go back. Baba, that cost me over 3 million naira.
No joke.
Yeah. By the time they gave me the 2 years, 6 months, well, I was a bit excited. Okay, 2 years, 6 months, fine. I didn't that is the beginning.
That's the start.
Then the UK immigration rule was 5 years to marry
British
UK
now, 5 years now.
Yeah. Along the line in 2017, when I was supposed to renew my last 2 years, 6 months, which I believe is going to end 5 years. Right. They said, they've changed the rules. I should go and read the immigration rules, and that affects me. I'm in the system already. They now attach a letter to it that I'm going to do 10 good years.
10 years.
Yes.
But I have to give you throughout that period. Whatever they can get.
Last year, November, I renew. I don't pay to lawyers to renew my application. I'm not that educated. I always tell people.
I only paid once myself.
Never paid again. See, I don't even pay from beginning. My wife is my lawyer. I won't lie to you because she's born and brought up here. She has worked with Home Office before. She put me through and I do my application. I filled the form and every that. But to cut the story short, last year, NHS subcharge was 1,650. pounds. My application fee was 1,200 and something pounds. But last year, I renewed my own application, 2 years, 6 months, another one. That will make it 7 years, 6 months. That will expire in the third one. And I renewed my daughter own too. That I've given back to Nigeria, and my wife, she helped me to bring her, and she's on my own document. Do you believe that when I was stranded in Nigeria, when I went for my elder sister's burial in 2020, for good 10 months plus, my daughter, she was not entitled to a dime.
If you now hear what they will give her, they say, I don't even know how much they give this big girl. But when I asked her, she was telling me something about 25 pounds a week, 20 pounds. I was like, really? People actually live on that?
Well, see, they paid my wife before on my son that she gave back to me. They paid that before, I think about between 75, 80 pounds. That is what they said they paid. They reduced it they reduced it to that 20-something pounds when I moved down here. Yeah. Last year, Maiyegun, for anybody that wants to hear, I paid over 7,000 pounds for my application and my daughter's application. I did my daughter own first, and
paying taxes as well.
I did my daughter's own first. I did my daughter's own first. They hold on it. They didn't answer us. They didn't send it back. And she just finished her GCSE exam. She was supposed to go to college. They hold on it until I now send my own application in. And you can't submit your application before 28 days of expiry. So my daughter need to wait doing nothing around November.
If you can just pack it up, because I want to take more calls.
So now what I'm trying to say is, Baba, when you check how much this application is taken from you, you won't believe it. So I tell some people that every 2 years, 6 months, I pay over 7,000 pounds to renew. They say, you're lying. I'll just be looking at them. You don't know what you're saying. When you come into the system, you know how far. You understand me? So, Baba, I really appreciate you for that point that you bring, because the thing they hit me too. Me and you go for the same level. I know they're entitled to Shingbang as I did too. If I know what,
if you dare,
we are 5 in my house. We are 5 in my house. All our bills before was between 1,002 to 1,002 something. Now, Baba, he has rise to over 2,300.
And it's
close to 2,400 pounds.
It's going to continue rising. By January, I don't even know. I've said I'm going to cancel my direct debit for electricity, because I'm not actually going to feel happy if they take 300 and something, 400 pounds from my bank for electricity a month. No.
To cancel tax. That is how they increase it.
We will negotiate on later.
Up to cancel tax. So, Baba, thank you very much.
Bless you, Baba. Thank you so much for sharing that with us as well. So I am going to, I've got another person on the line. Hello there.
Thank you very much.
Maiyegun.
Sir.
Maiyegun General.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm very good. And you?
Very well. Thanks for asking, sir. So you're live. Everybody can
hear you.
Go on.
Yeah, my name is Phil. I'm calling from Brooklyn, New York.
Class, man. Good to have you. So.
Yeah. Right. Maiyegun, you don't talk everything. I know say today you the para say make Nigeria just know say I say they happen for Nigeria, so they happen everywhere.
They happen everywhere.
You know all this place. Now, so you know all this place where we dey.
If we have to be honest. Go on, Baba.
No. Of course, to say around Baba. To say around now. At least normal wa. To back when 911 ọlọ́pàá dé gbogbo yẹn wà gbogbo yẹn ò dẹ̀ sí ní ọ̀dọ̀ tiwa lọ́hùn. You understand what I dey talk? So at least you go leave them for the tax they break everybody back like it's too much, yeah. But as you got off in she, anyways. But like to share.
That's why gbogbo ìtàn sọ you know àti sàtẹ àwọn kúkú ń rí nǹkan tó fi ń ṣe.
Àyọ̀ ṣe gbogbo ìtàn sọ you know àyọ̀ ni.
God bless you.
And yoni. Normally, tabaro moto BCB gongon, tojo mo lu gongon, ama wako being one useless because kojo won loju, no ko gbogbo miri, and they no get anywhere to go. So you go if you see a kata for year now, you know they work. You get 5 baby mamas, you don't burn tire, you know if you work, or so child support, you know if you do like that. Yeah. But at the same time, what thing I want to tell my own people for Nigeria is say, opportunities to online is if you don't be like 18 and above, there are so many opportunities online. To buy the $1, we share pounds in naira. Iye to my journey in Nigeria. Because the thing that surprised me, my data, machine, continue coffee. If you just go online, just pick one little course, very little course. Go study for the machine Nigeria. Go the machine in Nigeria. To back $100, tell me not $100. The $100 to work Politico. Oh, useful for because $100 is $100 for me.
It is
$100 for you in Nigeria.
You know one thing you said. I've been told. I've been told something, sir. Yeah, they said lately. Yeah, many people in the UK here, they are hiring tutors from Nigeria. I don't know how many people who have heard about that. If you have not, just for what you mentioned now, sir, what can you do to earn a better living? Even you are still there. I like that part, sir. They said they are hiring tutors for their, private, like for me, like in the UK now. I will hire somebody in Nigeria who is a tutor, okay, in Nigeria, and he or she will be teaching my child a particular subject or a particular area where my child is having difficulty. Now, if they should comment, that can be earning that person about $300, £300, £400 a month. That's aside.
But Baba, you know what? You know what it be £300 a month.
Baba, go on.
You know what it be £300 per month for Nigeria.
In Nigeria, think about that.
So about one call, you know these people that are going university. You don't know how much they make.
So
okay, I get some of my boys now.
£2,000 in the UK, it is £2,000 to me. If you make £2,000 in Nigeria, Baba, that is a 1.6 million naira. Cool 1.6 million naira. Doing the same thing, you are going to do less in Agbole. Baba, continue. I love this.
Because what they tell you, they say when we did even secondary school, you get some people who say their notebook well. Thomas after classes for more low yeah. Thomas need clients. Of course, yeah. But more also by Thomas meji meta mary. Only a ton boys young panel. Okay, make I give you one quick one. I grew up in First Stack. Only Yakoti Yamanta or get there. So my man Kiri, Kakri in First Stack. First born one more we go. Mama Meja, only Mamma Kirimo, or Femalocomo, you know, say First Stack regular now, but area Cocaine Avenue or low one bed. Right. But over there, I love it in Lilo Sibekwe. I don't know the money they did like this, so only I don't tell you now, mommy did this thing now. There are a lot of things to Nigerians later. You see, and this applies to our politics too. People keep saying, I don't want to go politics too much. But if we look at deep down, only an abnormal person, I ain't go talk to one vote for Tinubu. Now abnormal person go talk to one vote for Atiku. Like anything normal. But you know what in day, they say, want to limit around. Oti moyo konto Tinubu. Oti moyo konto Atiku. So, really, it just like say, I know Maiyegun now. Maiyegun no Atiku. I don't know if Atiku enter through Maiyegun. So, I'm ready to go online, talk anything. I don't care. If you like, swear for my papa, swear for my mama. But to the bad, just the aspira. That's a quality. Why won't we show the Burukuni and she?
And the way you are so right, Baba. The way you are so right, Baba. Majority of us who don't give a damn about Tinubu, Atiku, or any of them as we speak, right? There are some people are wondering. We are saying we are doing so because we are saying it from the position of comfort that we know that what will actually make me may look at Tinubu and say that better life that people deserve, he actually has to offer. Like more comfortable, whatever Tinubu is telling people, right? He can't say such to somebody like me and convince me to go to a ballot, to go to the poll and vote for him. So there any chance, like you said, there any chance we we can do whatever we want because any access see income, see majority only access in. And as you put it, many people who are now building connections versus connections, right? They are now looking up to young people, looking up to how they are going to make more money from looting the system, from what yes. So sad.
Because if you even want to talk, now your direct boss go tell you say, Fola only sorry now. Everybody know the truth. Everybody know the way we they go. But to one bá ti wà ńbẹ̀ díẹ̀ tó ti mọ̀yàn kan tí ó ṣá lè lọ́mọ pé àṣẹ ti bá ṣá lọ́mọ yín ṣá tí aláyé bá wọlé ṣe bó ṣe máa rí because bó ní any normal person normal mi te fẹ́ sọ Àtíkù mo sọ Tinubu Yorùbá ni mí tó bá sọ pé Tinubu ló fẹ́ dìbò fún normal person ni mo sọ tí ó ń ṣe kó ti yá wèrè èmi ò sọ pé Tinubu bá do mi sọ pé lè ní o but tó bá fẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn sìn bébé àǹtí tó wọlé sìn ọmọ ọdún mélòó ní 47 agile strong bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé àìdíà tẹ̀ ó lè máa lọ pẹ̀lú tèmi pé òun àti connection wọn kò matter but èèyàn kékeré ló lè rí ìlú ìtẹ́kọ̀ Tinubu lè lọ sórí YouTube fúnra ẹ̀ ní Àtíkù náà ò lè ṣe é even as people wey I no wan go there àwọn tó ń sọ obedient kó jẹ́ Igbo tó bá di pa sọ pé travel lè sọ pé keep it àjẹ but still ara wọn náà ni. They don't dey together. You don't do governor 8 years. You don't do Abga. You don't do PDP.
If you are like somebody like me, if you get time, go and listen to that Obi himself. Then you realize that Nigerians still suffer. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know. I need to buy the point one time. Move button here. So let the president do it.
You get what I mean now? But I mean, kọ́tà yẹn sọ ní pé among gbogbo wèrè wọn tó kó sílẹ̀.
Among gbogbo wèrè tẹ́ kó bọ́tà o. Among gbogbo wèrè tẹ́ kó bọ́tà o. Tábà tẹ̀ máa dìbò fẹ́ anybody o.
But fúnrú àwa táwa ń rú àwọn àdúgbò yìí bàbá ẹ̀ máa ká parọ́ fún àwọn.
No, kò jọ kò tí ẹ̀ jọ bàbá kò jọ bàbá báwa táwa síbẹ̀ yẹn gan anybody lè rí lùlù yẹn tí wọ́n bá change structure yẹn tí wọ́n bá kọ́kọ́ change structure yẹn ní constitution kàgbàgbé yẹn ń ṣèlú constitution ò sí ń bẹ̀ àti tóbi jù. Ní ọpọlọ tó lè control yẹn náà àkọ́kọ́ láti pín gbogbo ẹ̀ wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́ yóò ti drop no lè má support fully but àkọ́kọ́ láti pín náà everybody máa control ìtọ́síṣẹ́ àti níbi tí wọ́n bá ń gbé bí ìwárọ̀ ọmọ ìlú pé kò ń ṣe pé wèrè wà everywhere náà tani ò fẹ́ sáré ń bì ó sì mọ̀ pé tó bá ti jáná tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì máa ti bá yín lé wọ́n máa prove ẹ̀ fún ẹ pé bọ̀bọ̀ ó jáná náà lọ́sàn 150 àyẹ́ máa já tó bá dọ̀lọ́ ò ní jáná náà. Wèrè kún gbogbo bíi náà na wèrè everybody everywhere nílé ayé òfin ló ń mú yàn but ẹ bá ti irú president on manage wèrè everybody ní gbogbo máa ya wèrè ju o má sùn ká o shelter wà o àmàkù ẹ gbogbo you understand ilé kan ló wó ní lẹ́kíngbà yẹn tí gbogbo wa pariwo fún àwọn èèyàn kù èmi tún ti wó kalẹ̀ sack kalẹ̀ fire president ọ̀fọ̀ àwọn èèyàn sẹ́wọ̀n governor tọ́jú owó sẹ́wọ̀n ó fún wọn ní state pardon so kí ló ń sọ fún wọn ó ló fẹ́ mú ọmọ ìyàwó man bro all this thing no dey work make I take it and make somebody else come over Maiyegun you doing a great job man.
Now thank you so much for stopping by the way that's some summation there okay you are I mean people are the what do you call it they are the architect of whatever comes their way most of the time I said people do set themselves up. Maybe because of the information available to them or because of self-choices that the people believe that, well, I won't be responsible because if not, why would anybody actually feel comfortable to support something that is self-injurious and continue to be self-injurious to you or anything that has to do with you? And yet you are feigning ignorance or pretending that, or living in denial, pretending that it's not happening. Yet, staring you on the face. Hello there. Hello there. Can you hear me?
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir. Daniel Ekale.
My own discussion is going to be very good, and going to be
you probably need to come very closer to that phone, sir. I don't know what happened. Maybe if it's on speaker, you can take it off. And if it's not, just take it closer, sir. Yeah, it's like it's going off and on, please.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, sir.
What I want to discuss with you is
Yes, sir.
Is about this subsidy.
The subsidy scam.
This subsidy, sorry, this subsidy keep on coming every year, throughout for the past 7 years. This guy, Bukwari is there. So who's putting who?
And nobody can tell you the names of the beneficiary. That's the problem. Which company they collect this money? Which one collected what and what? What did they supply? Can you trace what they supplied? And can you say, nothing? They just say subsidy.
Nothing.
1 trillion.
Subsidy.
4 trillion. That's it.
Because there was a time I thought they said 100%. There's no 100% here. It's every year. Somebody is there looting everything that has been looted.
Anything available.
I don't just. What kind of government? What kind of people are these people? Do they have brain at all?
Well,
so there are some people who have to be. There's some people who should be learning. To be telling the government, this and this are the profits we are making out of it. When this guy came in Buhari, we all like it. We all say, okay, subsidy, okay, come on, go ahead. We know where at the end of the day we benefit from it. But look at it now for the past 7 years.
Now? They actually scam people so much that
exactly.
In 2016 they removed subsidy. That was why petrol jumped from 87 naira to 147 naira. People don't even remember that anymore, right?
Exactly.
But guess what? In that same 2016, they paid over 700 billion naira for subsidy. In 2017, sir, they paid over 800 billion for subsidy. Now, when they got to 2019, now then the whole thing got mad. This year, they were paying, they are borrowing over 4 trillion for subsidy in 2022.
Subsidy. When we own this oil. So who's putting who? And you say then you'll be saying people hate the government. You hate somebody, then they will tell you are talking to us like that. Wasted every year. So how do we progress? No, let's sit down and think about it. Let's just sit down. Don't forget about sentiment here. Let's not forget about these people are government. Practically, you are rubbish. You are not doing anything, and you are there. You're claiming you are leader. You have nothing to show for it. I mean, are we all fools?
Well, entitled criminals. They are having their day, but it seems like they are nearing their end as well. They have finished. It's just how long is it going to take?
How come? Look at where they are running to. Look at the same hole you are producing. Even Nigerian hole is better. That's the American review to say that our petroleum is low in sulfur. And that is why American review says
which country are receiving the stolen crude oil from Nigeria? Nigeria is losing nearly $4 billion to stolen crude oil. Which country is collecting this oil? Which country is paying them? Which bank are they paying into? A giant of Africa cannot find out.
Exactly.
Yet they cannot pay for schools. They cannot pay for hospitals. They cannot do all of that. And look at us. We are praying to God to come and do miracle. Are they for real?
Yeah, can you? Where is the money going to? All this, in that case, from Buhari himself down, they are involved in all this mentality. It is obvious. You can't expect the Naval is there, the immigration are there, and they're carrying out big vessels to come and loot.
Yeah, and yet everybody is
there, bring all this money. Come on. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with us? Let's reality to ourselves. Then we say everybody is running over to other countries. The countries that don't have the kind of resources we have in that country. Now, I mean, come on, let's do things. Let's be realistic to ourselves.
Imagine Nigeria paying subsidy for fuel that have been sold in Ghana, that have been sold in Togo, that have been sold in Sudan, sold everywhere else. But Nigeria pay for the subsidies out, but Nigerians don't know. They have no idea.
You know what? This subsidy, this stealing smell. I've been hearing about over 10 years.
Something that cost Wala 10 years ago, 2012, for protesting. Jonathan said he was removing it. There was a scam. Guess that, you know one thing, sir? One of the beneficiaries of those subsidy scam is currently the governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun. That's why I called him dubious. Yeah, he has an oil company. I mean, he was supposed to be somebody who is like, he has petrol station, right? Then suddenly, with the connection and everything that was on board that time, his own petrol station started importing fuel from God knows where. He collected billions, billions of billions of naira, hundreds of millions of dollars. He has so much money. That's why he had to be like, I must be governor. Everybody's looking for immunity. When you begin to look for those who collected that money, me, I have mentioned one now, okay? I know him very well. His name is Dapo, okay? Now, there are many like that now that we don't know. Free money. Free money.
Free money.
Yeah,
that is why, there was a time in Korodu, there was lots of killing. In Korodu, there was a lot of killing, a lot of atrocity was being. It's about this fuel.
People vandalizing power plant. I mean, there are all those who are also vandalizing because they say, everybody kuku they steal the oil. We can take my own. They will carry the can, carry cutlass, or ake. They will go and look for pipeline. Some of them they die when they, it's sad. It is just like it is sad. If everybody begin to put all this into like picture it is sad.
There was a time in Korodu, every meter is like every meter
there's no fire outbreak now, gun outbreak now because of fuel in Korodu. I know they have pipelines that pass through that place.
Pipelines everywhere. So there are lots of stealing. Great close to your elbow. Keep on calling. We will
keep telling them. Right? Sometimes, one thing, sir. People know all these things, but guess what? People don't know. Sometimes they don't know how much that thing actually affects their day-to-day lifestyles. They have no idea. So we need to continue to remind them that yes, they are stealing oil. Yes, they are stealing money. Yes, they are buying properties in Dubai. But you know what else you don't know? That will continue to deny your children good education. It will continue to deny your youth good jobs. It will continue to deny you good lives. And it will continue to make you laughing stock in the rest of the world. Sadly, so we need to remind them, sir.
I know.
Thank you so much.
Even ordinary food that is very cheap. It was very cheap in Nigeria. Now becomes so expensive that you cannot even avoid it. Hardly anybody can afford food now. You can't eat 3 square meals.
It's getting worse every day.
How come is that?
And guess what? None of them is ready to explain.
Now exactly. When we start talking to them that these guys, Papa, you are rubbish, they say, they I'm a sort of mother, I won't go because I want to know. Can you imagine? It's obvious. Can you see that? Most of them, let them see them and ask them questions.
Thank you so much, Papa. Let me take one more call and call it tonight. Thank you.
I mean, I could just imagine. Thank you so much. Because you're asking me about my opinion. Can you imagine? Thank you so much.
So I am taking one more call. I'm going to call it tonight, but I have had my own fair share. I think I'm feeling the heat now. Let's see. Hello there.
One more.
One name. How are you there, Osita Baba? How are you?
Believe me, you will dash me this your attire.
I wish I could do more. But Baba, you see one thing there. You know one thing about my attires, right? It breaks my heart that sometimes they have all ended up as costumes. Can you believe that? Expensive stuff. So I just wear them as costumes so that I can dazzle all of you here and say, look at me. But apart from here, I take it off until the next time. And it's sad. I don't like that. Now, I wish
I had it's sad. I understand what you mean. That is so sad. Anyway.
But Osita Baba, it's been a long time. You have our time tonight.
Yeah, I traveled. I just came back. I just came in not even quite 40 minutes now.
Oh, brilliant. Good enough. You are joining us tonight. You are my last caller, by the way. So let's hear from you.
Anyway,
which part did you join us from? I mean,
it's been it was basically on this. Yes, it's basically on this discussion. But on my way from the airport, I was watching something on YouTube where Femi Falana was talking.
Right.
And God bless that man.
Amen.
Because he cannot do it all alone. But he has to talk. Somebody has to talk. One person has to talk. Then the general public, the masses or the general public, they can act. One person cannot act alone.
No.
So if you look at the expose you'll be asking yourself, the question that will always come to your mind is, why is it that we are shouting, we go out and borrow money? And when we borrow that money, they don't even know what to do with the money. They only just tell us this is what the money was meant for. But yes, but at the end of the day, you find nothing. Is it that the country cannot go and borrow money and say, oh, we've been talking about this subsidy that we've been wasting billions, not even millions, we've been wasting billions. Why don't we borrow money and reconstruct or do a new mini refinery? If you can go and take 2-point-something billion from the NNPC, you told us that they don't have 1 naira, they don't have a dime, because every time they've been
nothing
for the past 7 years, nothing to remit. And at the end of the day, you said you brought in 2-point-something billion naira to put in Dangote's refinery.
Dangote's refinery, yeah.
But when you make your reservation very well, I am somebody, I read a lot. I have gone into trying to know how much does it cost to build a refinery. Refineries, it depends on what you want to do.
You see, Osita,
yeah.
Allow me to say something quickly that may be useful in what you want to have, tell us tonight, because I just remember now, that Dangote refinery you mentioned, apart from the crooked ways they are putting that together, instead of Nigeria to have a working refinery and how they put Dangote stuff all together, Abi. Now, do you know that Nigeria normally sell crude oil in dollars, Abi? Now, after all of the stolen money that they have indirectly laundered and then put through the Dangote stuff as they are doing, now they are saying the crude oil that will be supplied to Dangote will be sold to him in Naira. Now, here is the scam. You know, they are already preparing people to start paying between $300 to $500 per liter of petrol. Abi, they are already taking them there gradually, Abi, because of dollar. The excuse is that it is dollar that is causing this wahala. Yeah. Now, if they begin this way, they are going to change Nigeria. Dangote is going to be collecting free crude oil, and is going to be selling the finished product back to Nigerians at the price of imported refined products, because they will say, how much is a liter of barrel of how much is a barrel of crude oil now? They will say $120. Now Dangote will collect it at the rate of maybe 200 naira or 300 naira per barrel. Okay, free oil. Then, but when they want to sell to everybody right there, then they will say we have removed subsidy. So people will bring oil from UK. From Europe. They may be selling their own liter per 500 naira. Dangote can say, because of dollar, I'm selling for 350 naira per liter. That scam, we are going to do a series on it very soon. Go on, Osita, just so you know, the fraud behind the Dangote stuff.
So now, there are some refineries which could be built in less than $500 million.
I believe.
New refineries.
Yes.
If it is actually a country that is healthy enough, which is the leaders, the so-called leaders, I don't call them leaders, the so-called leaders, they are mentally fit. Do you know that every state in Nigeria can own a refinery with the kind of money that we hear that is missing here and there?
Here and there.
Every state in Nigeria can own a refinery. It is business. These things, the states are not just there to generate money for the center. It is business. If Dangote could own a refinery, an individual, what stops the state from owning a refinery?
God bless you, Osita. A big question. If Dangote can have own a refinery, what stops states, especially oil-producing states, from having their own refinery?
Especially the oil-producing states. But you will now tell them that, oh, they are not supposed to. That is what I am trying to tell you, that this country, this contraption, I don't care how anybody wants to sustain it.
It's unsustainable.
I don't care how anybody wants to sustain it. Anybody wants to tell me I'm a saint, I'm a this, I'm a that. Anybody who is campaigning for this time in that contraption, that person is an evil man. Because nothing is definitely going to work. A country whereby they will tell you that clearing of bushes, grasses, that we didn't see where they cleared. They said they spent 8-point-something billion naira. A country where they will tell you that snakes and scorpion and serpent, they ate naira notes or dollar notes. All this whole thing I am talking about happened in one particular administration. The issue of Kwara State, the governor, the money that they said is missing. We have not talked about Muike in Port Harcourt, the amount of money that is missing. We have not talked about the one in Imo State. That one in Imo State, that's my state. He will tell you that I am using it to fight IPO. That means it is going for security. It's on security. The security.
Do they know how many school children? Now they have over 20 million out of school children in Nigeria today, right? Do they know how many of those children can be sent back to school with the security vote of all these governors who are in their state? There is no security, we know that, Abi, but they are withdrawing over 300 million, 400 million per state for security votes. Like, just adding to your question, so how many children do they think that will take off the streets if that money is not going into the private pocket of those people?
My brother, don't be angry because today I'm only just trying to dissect our problem. The problem in the Nigerian
I am following you, Baba. I'm following you.
So now, when you look at it, you will find out the rot, the decay in governance in Nigeria. And I tell people that it is because government has not done their job. That is the reason you find there are criminals, destitute, psychopathy everywhere.
It's a takeover, now. It's a takeover.
It's because they have not done anything. Now, look at it again. They are talking about spending money here. Oh, that one candidate is going abroad. He wants to get money. But look at the money we are spending locally for election, buying votes here and there, things like that. Nobody's talking about it. You will find out that the country is not serious. I tell people that the best thing we will do for ourselves is to break up this contraction. Then we can have a conversation. If we cannot break it, we will never have this conversation. And I am sorry, my brother, you remember before I traveled, the last thing I said here, I was so passionate about it, I felt like crying that particular day. Believe me, we will not get this thing by gentility. We will not get this thing by just talking and talking. If we do not act, we will remain like this. We will keep blaming each other. Let's be factual. Everybody. That thing they say, oh, Yoruba will say, Arawani. All of us, we have this inside of us.
That's right.
That the Igbo man don't trust the Yoruba man don't trust the Hausa man don't trust the ethnic. They don't know. Every nation in that Nigeria
so well. And that's one success legacy that these criminals have. They divided us, and somehow it seems like it will take us a long time to actually figure it out.
And that is the reason. Every one of us, we are emotionally attached to our own criminals.
Yes.
But you see one thing I tell people, the moment that the Yoruba nation can stand on their own, the Igbo nation can stand on their own, the people of the South, they want to stand on their own.
They can.
Believe me, that is when we will start fishing out our criminals. But right now, as it is in Nigeria, we will always pamper them. Because the moment something is done against an Igbo man, for example, every Igbo, 95% of Igbos will say, oh, because of he's an Igbo man. The same thing applicable to the Yoruba man, the same thing applicable to the northern. But why don't we grab this thing and break it? When we break it, we can now go our different ways internally and ask ourselves some
that will
questions.
even grow so much respect. It will breed so much respect. We respect ourselves more than what we are, the way we are dealing with ourselves now. Do you get that now?
Yeah. So have copied questions is what we'll start asking. Questions that we cannot even imagine right now. So that is the way it is, my brother.
It is
all these things we are doing with Rigmaro here. If we do not fight for this thing, it will not happen. I am sorry.
And that's why we are saying to everybody as well, if there's anything we should be doing, we should be pulling our resources together so that whenever you say fight, at least, like they say in Yoruba, your hand must have been holding the what do you call it, the hold of a sword, so to say. I mean, you must have something behind before you now say, yeah, I'm ready. We need that to keep ourselves together.
Lastly,
so importantly.
And lastly,
yes, Osita.
And lastly, my brother.
Yes, sir.
If everybody is not seeing this thing, I am seeing it. Believe me, I am seeing it to the tune of 75% chance. There is not going to be an election in Nigeria. I am looking at it because as at this time of the year, September, every sitting government or president will come out and start campaigning for his preferred candidate.
Oh, they haven't started the in Enugu. You know what happened in Enugu yesterday, right? They said unknown people. Meanwhile, some people have already said that Nashimaroke Namani mobilize them. They attack Labour parties. But you know what happened is their campaign is starting at the end of this month, 28th of September. Now, you see this week we are now. By next week, you now go begin to see. You now go begin to see videos. They don't break my head, yo. Now meeting with you. They don't shoot gun.
No,
this one we do. So don't worry. You'll be seeing all of that soon. You'll be seeing all of that soon.
Before I called in. Yeah, before I called in, I was talking to somebody in Abuja.
Right.
On the phone. And we were talking about this whole issue. I was telling somebody that, look at it now. I think he's looking quiet, calm and gentle. The campaign. But come October, by October, as people will start distributing money in the whole of the whole mosque, in the northern side.
Have you not seen those who are already decamping? House of Assembly members in northern Nigeria, they are already decamping to Atiku now. Have you not been seeing
to PDP, right?
Now PDP, no, APC to PDP. So it's already happening now.
No, so what you will see at the end of the day, what you will hear, they will speak that they are Kadankada. By the time they speak Kadankada, they will come out and tell them that you cannot vote for any other person than a northern Muslim. A northern Muslim. Then I will see how people want to survive.
May God just give us may universe give us long life enough to witness everything. There are many ways we know that there are many pointers that shows that 2023.
My prayer is that when all these things happen, by God's grace, let be energized their energy, that which will cause a lot of confusion. Because if we don't cause that a lot of confusion, if that confusion doesn't come, that pandemonium doesn't come, that civil unrest don't come, we will not react. Because that civil unrest needs to come, then people will react.
You know my own prayer, and I want you to join me in it, is that when the Kasala will burst, many of us who saw it coming, we will be together, united, to be part of that new beginning. So that we will not be so divided that as we are shouting, hey, oh, hey, the criminals who survived the crash, they will quickly glue everything together again. And so, let's continue. You get what I mean? We cannot get what we want divided. And with what Nigeria is doing, they are doing a very, very terrible job that doesn't guarantee the unity of what they are selling lasting longer than this. But when the Kasala bursts, when the whole house comes crashing, that we know it's going to happen, I pray that you and I will be united enough to encourage that new beginning, like you said, and not as scattered as they have always wanted us to be, the divide and rule. That's my own prayer. Osita.
Amen.
Thank you. Now,
I'll put an amen to that.
I'll call it a night set now. Thank you so much. Oh,
thank you very much.
Larry. Let him come and make me laugh in a bit, which is a way of adding things. Larry, I was about signing out, so I would spare just about 5 minutes with you, and I hope we use it very well, that we don't use more than that. Baba, how are you?
Oh, Baba. Oh, thank you, man. Wow. Man, good evening, good evening, good evening, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good morning, good morning, good morning, wherever you are. You know, man, thank you so much, man, all over the world. My people, now, but don't go and do me anyway. Let nobody tell me to speak in English. I'm going to mix everything. Because it's always so sweet when you want to para.
I know.
And you want to para, you have to...
Some words or some sort of sentences are better said in Yoruba. So, and I don't understand.
Oh!
So just...
Yeah. Just like when you want to say Olori Buruku. Unfortunately, human beings law.
Larry.
So, my brother, in fact, see, one thing I want everybody to understand is, very soon, just like you said, the only thing that pains me most is àwọn ọmọ kékeré ló ń jìyà. Gẹ́gẹ́ bóyá sọ pé àwọn èèyàn lè tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa jẹ ọmọ wọn. Sọ nípa àwọn olórí burúkú kan tí ń ta ọmọ wọn. Àwọn ọmọ kékeré ló ń jìyà kíní yìí o. And we keep telling everybody that let's break this thing up. But some idiots, àwọn máṣàǹfààní olórí burúkú kan, wọ́n ń jókòó síbẹ̀. Wọ́n máa fún wọn ní crumbs, wọ́n máa fún wọn ní crumble, wọ́n máa ní báyìí àwọn ibẹ̀ yìí ṣe. Ṣé rí ẹjẹ́ kí n sọ̀kan fún yín? Mo sọ fún yín pé àwọn àti Yíbò a ṣe máa pàdé ní Y point tó bá rántí ìgbà tí mo ń sọ gbà yẹn. Tó mọ kí mo sọ kí nìyẹn? Yeah, a ṣe máa pàdé Y point ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa dùn gan, a máa push àwọn olórí burúkú yẹn. A ṣe máa jẹ́ wọn náà tìyẹn o. Sọ́yà ò ṣe èrè. But ẹ̀yẹ ká kọ́kọ́ clean nínú ilé wa náà because òṣì tó ń ṣe yẹn ti pọ̀ jù. No. Agbúrò ọkọ lé àwọn tiwa náà kọ́ sákàbàkàbà.
See, Larry, as a Yoruba man, mo ye jókòó bá tí bá jókòó tí bá kàn rò pé wọn ló mọ tá a kọ òun ló máa gbélé ta kọ́tà àbí 22 years ago, Baba. That thing they break my heart. 22 years ago, so many people who are probably watching me too today, some of them watching me, they were not born 22 years ago. Here you get. Now, today, a child born on 1999, today, that child is 22-year-old man or woman. Now, these guys had no plan for all these children in their 20s now or in their early 20s. So no plan for them. Now, here we are. Somebody is now saying they have a plan for your future. And the same people, and you believe them. Do you want to give another 22 years of your own children to them? Your parents gave birth to you 22 years ago. Some of you are facing the worst hardship of your lives in Nigeria today. Now, some of you are also parents now at 22 or 21. Now, do you want to give the next 22 years of the life of your own children to the same people your parents gave your lives to? That thing they touch me, Baba, every now and then.
It the thing they paying us for outside because we don't see how life supposed to be. You understand? The mumus then when they inside Nigeria, they no one open their eyes. And I will go force them to open their eyes. Because as it is going, want to reach the baba to do the ninda. No, I cease to say Nigeria. Fuck Nigeria.
Nigeria ti balẹ̀ Yorùbá jẹ́ fún wa. Ọ̀la àwọn ọmọ wa ò guarantee.
Irú gbogbo òṣìwò nìyẹn. Àmọ́ sọ fáwọn ọ̀nà pé ẹjí ẹ wo ẹ̀rí sọ̀kan fún yín ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá lọ support ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá lọ protect àwọn gọ́vnà ọlọ́pàá tó bá gbé mọ̀ náà ni ọmọ ọlọ́pàá yẹ̀ o. Mo sọ wo ìyá ẹ̀gà ògbó yín o ọlọ́pàá yín o. Wo tó bá ti dòun ó ti dòun nìyẹn o. Wọ́n kàn máa sọ fún mi pé mò ń pariwo mi báyìí political screen ìyára ìyá àpá ẹ̀.
Bàbá ta ló sọ pọ́lọ́pàá tó gbé bọ́dá ní ẹ̀gàn tó ń kọ́ bá rọ opportunity kò ní yìnbọn fún.
Bàbá ọmọ tó máa kọ́ mo sọ fún mi pé mi ò kí sàánú ọlọ́pàá ṣùgbọ́n mo rí ní nǹkan ṣe bá wọn GDP kan gbé tá a dà fún ó yẹ kó pa ni kò ní da fún yàrá ìyá wọn níbo ló ti ń bọ̀.
Èmi ti rí ibi tí vigilante ti lọ rescue ọlọ́pàá tí Fúlàní kidnap o. Ṣé you get me now?
Yes, you can imagine. Ọlọ́pàá yẹn kẹ̀dẹ̀ yẹn náà tó bá rí vigilante yẹn lọ́la ó tún sì máa fi àjẹ vigilante. Ó sì máa fi àjẹ vigilante níta ó máa ṣùtù vigilante tó bá ní pé ó yẹ kó lọ shoot aside kó máa shoot àwọn èèyàn tó ń protest. Àánú èmi ò ṣàánú ọlọ́pàá o. Wá ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká lajú wa o. Kò sọ àánú ló pa wá nílẹ̀ Yorùbá o. Ojú àánú ti fọ́ kíkà ló kù. Páírètì ni gbogbo wa báyìí. Ojú àánú ti fọ́ kíkà ló kù. Kíkà tó dẹ̀ kù yẹn gan wọ́n ti fi pínlẹ̀ kun kò ní dá fún yàrá yẹn anybody. Èèyàn kan wá sọ fún mi pé kí n máa ṣe New Testament ń bo ọgbẹ́ni ẹlẹ́fọ̀n náà ẹ̀ ká padà sí ìgbà tí Mósè. Àbólóṣì ni gbogbo yín. Ẹ máa sọ pé ọmọ ó ti di wọ́rọ́ sí wọ́rọ́ tó bá ti di wọ́rọ́ sí wọ́rọ́ èmi tẹ̀ láìkì nǹkan tó fi lè máa mú irú òsítà yìí máa para díẹ̀díẹ̀ yìí. Ìwọ mọ̀ pé òsítà máa ń láì láti máa wà diplomatic. Ó ti ń para kó ti mọ̀ pé ó ti ń kọ egungun nìyẹn.
So para òsítà ní para lẹ́rìí báyìí sí because irú para ti lẹ́rìí yìí gan-an ó dà kó kó everybody pọ̀ mọ́ra wọn ni o like ọ̀bẹ́nìkan jà fọ́ọ̀gùn gbogbo ilé lójú ni lẹ́rìí mú wa o like everybody ẹ̀ ń ṣí ere ni.
fọwọ́ kọ́ everybody lójú.
Like ṣe ìyá.
Kí ni gbogbo òsì èmi sọ́ọ̀sì ni o ẹ̀yẹ́ everybody jí o. Torí à ń ní àwọn wèrè kan nínú wa. Àwọn tó jẹ́ máa fún wa problem jẹ́ sọ́ọ̀sì kò ní dáfún yàrá anybody. Àwọn agbèrò yẹn ló máa fún wa problem. A jẹ́ máa pa yàrá ìjà gbó. Ẹ máa mọ̀ pé àwọn ta ṣe èrè apọ̀ gan nígboro. A kàn ń faṣọ bó wèrè wá ni. A kàn ń faṣọ bó wèrè ni kò ní dáfún yàrá yín. Ìwọ máa sọ fún mi ìyàrá ìjà ìwò. Ẹ máa wọ̀rí ó jẹ́ ti dòun tán kí ni gbogbo òsì yìí rà ọ́n. A kàn máa gbọ́ bílíọ̀n a máa gbọ́ tírílíọ̀n a máa gbọ́ kíní kan àwọn òkòlùkọ̀ àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ ń dòkò ṣé bóun lọ analyse yẹn federal government ti parọ́ fún yín pé òun fẹ́ fún yín 150,000 nínú yín dùn ẹ̀ ń jó bí olórí burúkú ẹ ti gbàgbé pé iye tí a sùn béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn kò tó iye tí wọ́n láwọn fẹ́ fún yín nǹkan báyìí. Ẹ ṣe lọ́pọ̀lọ́ yín lọ.
Ta ló máa ṣí yunifásitì fún yín ta ló máa kọ́ yín kò make sense but
it's
always like that Naijani ó sad gan.
Àyè rọ́bìsì òní ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń dúró èèyàn kan máa wá èèyàn kan wá ń sìn mo sọ̀yọ̀ ẹ̀yin obìnrin ẹ̀jẹ̀ má bínú èèyàn kan wá ń sìn mo fẹ́ sọ mo kàn fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ yìí sìn lórí mi lọ́kọ́ bẹ àwọn obìnrin síwájú dúró bàbá mi má bínú jàre ọ̀rọ̀ pàrọ̀ lélẹ̀ nà tó mọ̀ pé èèyàn kan sọ láìpẹ́ yìí pé ìwọ́jẹ́pọ̀ rẹ̀pù yẹ́ ẹ̀rín sójú ẹ̀ kéèyàn kan máa bẹ̀ ẹ́ pé kò má bínú kó wá kọ́ ẹ pé báyìí kò yẹ ṣe ó ní fara ya ni ẹ ti rí òfin Yorùbá láǹdì pàǹdà àwọn oníkálukú ló kàn gbókò burúkú síta àtúnfẹ́ bí àṣà bàbá làǹdò ó ní nàìjíríà Babangida fọk Nàìjíríà táyà ó ní we no want again ká sọ táyà ká dàrú kí ni gbogbo sì yìí nà án. Bọ́ọ̀lù Dangote ṣe máa ń gbọ́ nígbà ìyára Dangote ìgbà tó ń dàgbà bọ̀ ṣé àjàkúta ò ti sí wọn kí ló pe orúkọ òwe kòrò ti sí mẹ́ni níṣẹ́ ó ti tẹ́kì ẹ̀ ó ti tẹ́kọ̀ bẹ̀ níṣẹ́ epo wa tó wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ó ti tó kò lé kí ló dé kí ni mo bọ̀ sí yìí.
Òun ló máa wà.
Àwa la máa pa Dangote fúnra wa lákìlá kò ní dáhùn yàrá ìyàwó gbogbo wọn ọ̀nà bọ̀ ṣé bóun ló sponsor gbogbo àwọn pípì ṣé bóun ló sponsor wọn. Ṣé wọ́n lọ sọ́sọ̀ wọn? Kọ́mọ wọ̀rí. Ọmọ rí ìgbàgbọ́rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọn tí mọ̀ wọn kan. Ẹ̀dá síta ẹ̀yìn tèmi. Ẹ̀dá síta tó bá ti fún fèrè. Ẹ̀dá síta torí kò sí diplomacy mọ́. A lè bá wọn fi lọ. A lè bá wọn fi parí kiri. Wèrè lọ́wọ́ fi parí ẹ̀. Wèrè lọ́wọ́ fi gbẹ̀tọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ wọn. Wèrè ni o. A máa gún wọn kòkòkò. A máa gún wọn lójú. A máa pa wọn sojú wọn. Ìyára ìjà ogun wọn kò ní dáhùn ìyá wọn. Bàbá mi ò fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ jù ó dàbọ̀.
No, ètò tẹ̀ ti sọ yìí bàbá in fact gan ọmọ anyway thank you so much Larry you have a good night thank you very very much. Now this is where
we're going
to do the cutting here. My time is so up. I wish I could take more, but there's no much time to do that. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. For those who joined midway or near end, I would advise you to watch the broadcast from the start again. you probably will make a sense of it as well if you listen with that open mind, okay? I've done my part. What you make of this is up to you. So thank you so much for spending your evening with me again, as usual. Next time, again. So good night from here.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe é àní Maiyegun.